Jupiter and Virgo. Interesting. My little sister, one of them, has this energy. And I don't think I know somebody who's as hardworking, as detail-oriented, as able to clock in and do work like her. There's so many sides to this energy. Where to begin? I guess it's interesting. So this is one of the, astrologically it's said to be a challenging energy because Jupiter is the planet of expansion, the planet of consciousness, of expanding your horizons, of learning and higher learning. And Virgo is very much grounded. It likes minimalization. It doesn't like expansion, you know. The energy of Virgo and the planet, the composition of Jupiter, its very nature, and how it impacts us human beings here on Earth, they don't get along very well. It's challenging. But just like with every single astrological placement, there's always that beautiful side, that beautiful reward that the energy offers that person and the world. And I think that the beautiful side for this energy is exactly what I was just talking about with my sister. My sister embodies this so well. Is that ability to show up, be very humble, and do work. Just do the work. And to work long hours and to work hard and to work intelligently too. She's currently going to school, the cosmetology school. And actually she's the one who colored my hair. I don't know if you can quite see it yet. And it was really cool. Before it faded and stuff, there was like blue on either side, and like back here there was like the pink and orange really vibrant. This was a couple months ago. But perfect example of just that Jupiter and Virgo skill. I mean, seriously, there's so much skill and so much analysis with this energy. And I find it comes out best that those with this energy experience the most expansion, the biggest expansion of their consciousness when they're working, when they're using that skill, when they're using that analysis and building something. They're developing something, they're developing their skills. I find it's incredibly important for those with Jupiter and Virgo to learn something practical, to learn something that they can be proud of and know that they're contributing and helping to, you know, their situation and the world. You know, I've read in many places that Jupiter and Virgo gladly takes on the little menial tasks that other people avoid. And I think that that's a beautiful thing. That's not anything, you know, to be ashamed of or anything, because those with Jupiter and Virgo are so exact, so precise, that that's where they shine best, you know, that's where they grow the best, is when they are, you know, paying attention to all the little details of something that other people would just go, ah, fuck it. You know, me as a Jupiter and Leo, I do not have the patience of a Jupiter and Virgo to be able to sit down and go through all the analysis and all of those little fine details. And, you know, it's funny because patience is a hallmark of Earth energy, of Virgo being an Earth sign. But it's also very quick. You know, Virgo's ruled by Mercury, the fastest planet in the solar system. It takes 88 days, only 88 days for the Mercury to go around the sun. Whereas, you know, of course, our orbit is almost like, what, 4 times that? I don't know, you're the Virgo, you can do the math. But there's so much, when you channel that skill, when you channel your incredible ability to grow as a person with your skill and with your service. That's another big part of it, is developing skills and your analysis and your incredible ability to learn and to, you know, to perfect things. And we'll get to the challenge with that too. There's always a challenge. But when you get to that point, it's important to serve, you know, to use your skills, again, to make the world a better place, to be at your best and to help other people be at their best. And so that reminds me again, the challenge for this energy and why it's said to be astrologically challenging in general. And again, I want to say, like, even the, you know, like, for example, Jupiter and Pisces or Jupiter and Sag, energies that are ruled by Jupiter that, you know, are said to function very well with Jupiter, they have their challenges too. You know, I mean, Jupiter and Pisces, like I said in the video I just did, you know, has the challenge of escapism and you know, drug addiction and whatnot. So again, everybody, there's no such thing as a bad energy, really. I don't say bad, I say challenging. And again, when Jupiter and Virgo or whatever challenging placement a person has, when the challenges are overcome, the rewards are incredible and are great, and nobody else could ever possibly have the rewards that you achieve after getting over those challenges. So so I think it's really important to keep in mind. But yeah, the challenge for this particular energy is definitely paying too much attention to details. Virgo with Jupiter is getting caught. Oh, what is it? Focusing on the trees out of the entire forest. And that's a great skill, but it can really limit your perception, especially with Jupiter being the planet of higher consciousness, higher awareness, higher learning. It's really important to not get wrapped up in work all the time, to not get wrapped up in details. And this applies to every sphere of your life. Mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, to not break yourself down. That's another big challenge for this energy, is to not demean yourself, you got to give yourself the credit you deserve, and you got to realize that you are an incredibly hard worker, incredibly analytical, and incredibly stringent, and you can also be way too hard on yourself, and others for that matter, and you can really pick things apart, and that includes people. So you get caught up on details that don't necessarily really matter at the end of the day. And you can also try and perfect people. That's not a good way to express Virgo energy. Trust me, I have a challenging Virgo energy placement myself, Neptune in the house of Virgo. And for so much of my life, I've had these thoughts that are very challenging. I'm trying to fix and perfect things and people and myself. And it's very unhealthy. When you try... Virgo energy at its best is helping through its analysis. Not trying to fix and mold and whatnot against the person's will, but just offering a suggestion, offering a, hey, what if this? I think that this would be helpful. Not a, you must do this, or otherwise you're wrong, you're flawed, you're whatever. That you gotta accept and love somebody for who exactly they are before you try and improve them, And it's really important to take that to heart, I find, with Virgo energy, and especially us with challenging Virgo placements. Because otherwise you get caught in this endless stream of trying to fix everything and everyone, and that's not... Everything can be improved, yes, and that's a beautiful, positive way to, express this energy. But to go about your life with everything needs to be fixed, well, there's no such thing as being fixed, because, again, it's a subjective thing in the first place. What you think is perfect now might change, in fact, will change some years from now, some moments from now. And not to mention, let alone time, but people. People have different ideas of what's perfect, what's right. And to assume that yours is the only way does not help, does not work. It just gets in the way of things. And again, you have incredible analysis, incredible advice, with Jupiter and Virgo, your philosophy of life is centered around your work, your analysis, your ability to understand things, how things and people work together, and understand really anything that you put your mind to. This is incredibly intellectual placement. It's very practical, down to earth. It likes to have, practical use for the knowledge. But ultimately, Jupiter, again, expansion of consciousness, higher learning. To have Virgo there means that you're very studious in a lot of ways. And, even if it means studious in how many different ways can you, fix a plumbing system, that's excellent. And of course we need that in our society. We need people who are focused on those things. And it shouldn't be discounted. Some of the most incredible inventors in history have touched countless billions of lives with their Jupiter and Virgo energy of just trying to fix something, or just trying to, make something better that seems small in the scheme of things, but is really truly helpful. Inventions like being able to save electricity by turning, flipping one light switch in the house that shuts off all electricity. I don't know if that exists, but a Jupiter and Virgo would invent something like that. The other people might be like, it does, they're focused on other things. But Jupiter and Virgo, you truly are focused on helping, on serving. And whatever way feels best to you to serve, do that. And don't worry if other people like it, if they appreciate it, if they don't, whatever. You just need to appreciate yourself. That's what it really comes down to. And do what feels right to you. Serve how you know you need to serve. And don't worry and don't try and perfect and fix things. Truly, it's it's not going to help you. I promise you. It's so much better to take the approach of just trying to get things to improve, to get things to be better. Those my friends with this energy are constantly thinking about work and are constantly focused on it. And again, that's part of the beautiful side of this energy. But again, getting caught up in that is not so good. And not only my sister, but a couple other my close family members have this energy. And there's also the challenge of not accepting people. Again, getting caught in trying to fix things and trying to figure everything out. Just like Jupiter and Gemini, Jupiter and Virgo, is very important that you don't try and have the answer to everything. You know, life is meant to be mysterious and fun. I mean, that's the whole point. Have you ever played a video game and used cheat codes? It's fun for about like maybe a day at that, but then it gets so boring because you have everything there. You don't have to work, you don't have to develop, and there's no mystery or surprise. Let there be a mystery and surprise with life, and also let people surprise you. It's very unfortunate that a really close family member of mine, who's not my sister, but has exhibited very much the lower quality of this energy, and it's been very hard to deal with because they've been extremely critical, extremely judgmental, and they think that theirs is the only way that's right, and it's very unfortunate. You know, it's that lower energy of Jupiter and Virgo. Again, highest energy, beautiful, serving, genius, intellectually, analytical, just incredible. Lower energy, it's frustrating because it alienates. If you take a judgmental, intolerant approach to life, it alienates people, and it alienates people that really don't deserve it. I think it's really important to get past seeing flaws in people with Virgo energy. You know, I mean, you can still see those flaws. There's nothing wrong with that flaws, right? The areas that could be using improvement. It's still okay. It's fine to see those flaws. You were meant to with that Virgo energy, those areas that need improvement. But don't get caught up in them, and don't take offense if the person who, you know, you're giving your advice to, of, hey, if you did this, your life would be easier in this way, you know, might be better in this and this way. Don't take offense if they don't, you know, absorb that right away. Let them live their lives. You are not meant to be the servant for other people to just fix, you know, again, there's very two sides to every energy. Fixing versus helping of their own volition, getting somebody to be better with your advice, your, you know, analysis. I find that this energy gives incredible advice, very down to earth, very common sense. You know, and it makes sense. Again, Jupiter is, again, that higher self in so many ways. Inspiration, revelation, prophecies, and whatnot. And with Virgo being that analytical energy, I find that my loved ones with this energy give me some incredible advice that is very obvious, like thinking about it, but I didn't see it before. Again, very common sense, practical, get to the point, no bullshit advice. And that's the best part of this energy. And again, avoiding the, you know, picking apart, tearing somebody apart side of this energy is very crucial. Because again, and I guarantee you, and if you think about yourself, where you were a couple years ago, 10 years ago even, 15, 20, however many, and where you are now, you have different analyses. You analyze things in a different way. And so what you thought was so pristine and perfect back then is going to be different now. And that's really important to remember that. To really, you know, internalize that, because that'll really help you in getting away from that trap of trying to fix everything. You know, you really can't say it enough. That's the biggest challenge with this energy. And once you internalize that and get to that higher place where you're just serving and developing, my sister is seriously, with this energy, she's a genius, and you know, she's doing cosmetology school now. I know in the future she wants to do psychology and help in that way, and really, you know, help with counseling and whatnot. And that's more like her moon in Aquarius and stuff. But Jupiter and Virgo, that service, that ability to commit to something and to learn something that interests you. It's very important to study something and do something that interests you. So otherwise you're just going to get bored. And when mercurial energy gets bored, it scatters. It just goes crazy. We have nervous breakdowns. And so it's really important for you to not be stuck in stability and security. Well, I really want to do this with my life, but this job gives me the security and stability. So I'm just going to stick with this. I mean, security is a wonderful thing, but don't sacrifice the dream. Don't sacrifice, where you could be for where you are now. Don't get stuck. It's really important to not get stuck in a rut with this energy. Do your time, serve, and move on. Again, stability and security is a wonderful thing, but don't sacrifice your happiness, your life for those things. Work on going for this, even if you're here right now. Don't just, minimize the dream. Again, that's another part of this energy is minimizing your aspirations, thinking, oh, I'm not good enough, I'll never be good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not this. Let go of those negative thoughts. That's not going to help you, and it's inaccurate. You're being way too hard on yourself. And you got to realize how incredibly intelligent and analytical you are, and how capable you are to achieve your dreams, very patiently, working day by day, a little bit each time, but making solid progress. You're capable of anything that interests you and sets your mind, that you can set your mind to. So don't limit yourself by thinking, oh, I'm not good enough, I'm not this, I'm not that. You're being way too hard on yourself, I'm telling you. And you'll find, if you have the courage to pursue your dreams, that you had it in you all along. And stuff that you were taking for granted about your incredible skill and ability shines and has the ability to shine. So invest in yourself. With this energy, it's incredibly, incredibly important to not just serve other people, to not just let your analysis, work in the outside world. Help yourself too. Develop your skills, develop your philosophy on life, your incredible ability to serve. Find whatever way that calls to you. Serve in that way. And again, in general, don't worry about what people think of you, what they say, whatever. Don't try and perfect yourself. Just be yourself, do your thing, and I guarantee you'll find your happiness. For a long time, my sister was vacillating between all these different options, and she just was not happy. And now, after going through a lot of challenges, she's finally found what she loves, which is cosmetology. She's always been interested in that, but just for whatever, there was just a lot of, again, scattering of the mercurial energies. And, again, whatever she is interested in, for example, psychology, I know she can achieve. She's way too hard on herself, and I'm always telling her to relax and to love herself, and I love her, and to not be so hard on herself, to not pick herself apart. And that's another beautiful thing with this energy is it gets easier with time. It's an earth energy, and so the way I see earth energy is like a garden. You plant a flower and you need patience. You need water, you need some emotion there, so you need to nurture yourself. You need to make sure you're feeling good about yourself, and that you feel good about what you're doing. And, so you're watering your seed, and then, boom, after maybe a month or so, you have your flower, and that grows into the bush, into the tree, into the forest, into the, the entire world of just greenery and garden. And that's the way I see life, is you gotta have that patience. And that's the beautiful thing about you guys with this energy, is you have the patience, and you're incredibly quick, too. It's a really strong combination. That's one of the beautiful things about Virgo energy. And so don't sacrifice your dreams. Water the garden. Do what you gotta do to achieve what you need to do. Because once you get over this hump of hurting yourself, of saying, I'm not good enough, I'm too this, not enough that, once you get over that and you start serving the world, you serve in even better ways. And so it's important for everyone that you love yourself and that you nurture yourself, because that you make the world infinitely better as you reach higher planes of consciousness and higher planes of, of self-trust and self-love, because you're able to serve more. Your incredible analysis, your incredible philosophical nature surrounding work and service benefits everyone, and it makes the world a better place. It truly does. So seriously, invest in yourself, invest in your dreams, develop them. We all need you to, seriously. And whatever you're interested in, follow that infinitely. You'll find too, Jupiter's also the planet of prosperity and of just the beautiful bountiness of life, of abundance. So the more you serve, the more you develop your skills, all of these things, you'll find you attract all of the beautiful things that life has to offer, of, wealth, of contentment, of security, of festivities and joyousness and celebrations. And we all deserve that. Of course, in proportion to our work too, but you know that. You know that hard work is how you achieve this wealth in general. Whatever wealth, whether it's physical wealth, material, or emotional, spiritual, mental, whatever. But hard work is needed. It's important to honor both sides of life, though. The work, yes, but also the enjoyment of the work. And again, you'll find as time goes on, life gets easier. You'll have developed your skills, you'll have developed your garden, and you can enjoy your garden then. And you'll still be working, you'll still be analyzing, and because naturally that's your energy. You'll still be serving, and it's a beautiful thing because again, it just gets better as life goes on. So just remind yourself that if ever you get in a hump, if you ever get stuck in a rut, just remind yourself, okay, what's something practical I can do to make myself feel better? What's a step that I can take right now to reach that goal that I see, at the end of the rainbow? And do it. One step at a time. It's like that quote says. I think it was, I never can get his name right. I think it's like I don't know. He's an amazing dude. Like, I think he's a Libra. His quotes, love his quotes. I always am thinking about it. But I don't remember. But he's saying, I believe this is his quote. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step. And you understand that with this energy. So honor that in yourself. Never underestimate yourself. Never underestimate your steps and what they can achieve, what they can give you in life. Never underestimate your worth, nor the worth of others. I think that's pretty much everything I have to say. I can't really think of anything else. Namaste. Yeah, one last thing. Any philosophies of service, I really encourage you to check out. I believe certain kinds of Buddhism, and plus Buddhism in general, Christian charity, Muslim charity, I don't know if, I'm sure there's a Jewish, charity, but just the different philosophies around the world of service would be really, really incredible for you to check out. These different spiritual systems and just all of their wealth of knowledge.